the article is about the Lost Hill Station
Right.
covering up 3 years worth of incidents with this retired lieutenant, James Braden, who was a Malibu liaison, highly respected in the community, and just an amazing guy. I mean, this is the last thing I would have ever thought could ever go down, right?
Right. Of course.
And a couple of years ago, a very um a very interesting, well, not interesting, a very disturbing thing happened. I received some texts from Jim Braden,
Okay.
and he was on IOD, I believe, at the time.
Okay.
And he, I think he had surgery. I guess, I don't know, but
Right.
I received these photos, and he was bloody, and they were weird, and the texts were weird. And I'm just looking at it going, holy shit, what's going on with Jim? Like, I was like worried, like, I'm
Well,
never
of
thought,
course. I mean, whenever they send you pictures like that, I mean, you're with no, was there context
oh,
behind it
like he got in a
in the
fight
fight?
with a homeless person. And I come to find out he ended up getting arrested. And he ended up retiring not long after that. Thank God he didn't lose his pension.
Right.
Um, but it was scary. It was really weird. But then I think like a little bit later on, it looked like he and his wife were doing great on social media, on Instagram. And I think it was in Father's Day 2023. I texted him and I said, Happy Father's Day. I hope you're good.
For sure.
And he said, I'll call you soon. And then
Okay.
since then, I didn't hear anything until literally last week.
Right.
And in that article, you'll see the redacted emails, which I'm going to re-edit this article and make sure that I put the actual emails in there.
Oh, I see. I
And
see what you did here. Okay.
I redacted them because I was really concerned about the family,
Of
and
course.
I didn't want them to really suffer for this. So, but then the day after, I received that alert I just sent to your phone, which I will include in this edit.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's pretty scary. Uh,
Yes, it
so,
is.
so what happened was this is a leaked Ventura County Sheriff's Department internal memo, a bulletin,
Okay.
and it was sent to me uh, by another uh, member of law enforcement,
Sure.
and he wanted me to be aware of this. And I looked at it and I went, holy shit. So I'm looking at this, and I know that people out there know that I've been doing this a long time. Like, I should know
Yes.
the difference between a PSA and an internal memo. I do not, because y'all don't have a good graphic designer over at fucking LASD or the Ventura County Sheriff's Department. I know my
Yeah.
graphic design shit because I
Yeah.
am a
Because that's what you do.
designer.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You
to me,
know.
they all look the same. What do I know if it's internal, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I mean, I did look at it and go, boy, somebody put a lot of effort into this. There's so much shit on there. I was like,
There
what?
is. Right.
So I didn't think twice about it. I got it up there. And you know what? I knew his address was on there, and I knew his car was on there. And I thought, that's kind of, but the information on there was so important to public safety that I just thought to myself, look, if, especially now, finding out that he is like, uh, kind of stalking young girls, underage girls at like Starbucks and asking them, look at that post, and I'll make sure
Yes.
I include it in here. When I posted that bulletin, I can't tell you how many stories came out
So
about
more
interactions.
people spoke up.
Holy shit, you have no idea.
Oh
And
shit.
it just became much bigger. Anyway, the first night that I posted that bulletin on the local Malibu, which has high traffic, the Ventura County Sheriff's Office reached out to me and said, where did you get that? And I said, I got it from a third party, and somebody else had already posted it before me. Okay. So
Okay.
it wasn't even originally leaked directly to me. Somebody else got a hold of it. They posted it, and then another person saw it, and that person sent it to me.
Of course.
And so, um, so I emailed them. They're like, "Can you call me?" And I'm like, fuck no, I'm not calling you.
Right,
I'm
right,
gonna email your ass and have a
right.
freaking log of it, right?"
Yeah, exactly.
And so I emailed them back and I said, "I received this via a third party, and that's it. I received it via a third party, and somebody else had already posted it before I did." And they wrote back and they go, "Well, this is a sensitive internal document, and we were hoping you would take it down." And then I said back to them, "Absolutely fucking not. I am not taking this down. Are you guys out of your mind?"
That's ridiculous.
And I mean, why are you warning your own officers and you're not warning the public?
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't. So how do you
What
feel
the
about that, Cece? I
fuck?
mean, like,
Sorry, I'm late.
just
At least
cover.
I'm with Prime today, so I could do it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Here's the thing that's flabbergasting. You stated obviously in your article here, it gives particular details that the public can read, right? Looking at this edit that you have here, pertaining to this situational awareness bulletin, it it's flabbergasting to me that they're allocating these resources to see if you're going to take it down, and they're going after you for the most part, just trying to figure out what's happening, right? Just like you stated, why wouldn't you just warn the public? This is something that the public needs to have this understanding. I mean, you have these young girls or whatnot in
Well,
this.
look at that, the post I sent you that I texted you.
Yeah.
That is from a mother who encountered him and the interaction with the young girls. She saw my post. And so she shared the bulletin that I shared and wrote her own story.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, yes, she did. Now, obviously, that's a concerned mother, right? I mean, as well she should be. As well, all other mothers should be extremely aware of this. Why on earth would the station try to cover this up, you think? Or at least hide it?
Well, some people were talking about how Braden and Captain C2 were super close, and somebody made the observation that I don't know, maybe Braden had some dirt on her. I don't
Oh
freaking
my
know.
God.
I mean, look,
Yeah.
that is not like unlikely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
It's
course
like
not. Of course
it's
not.
not unlikely, but I can't definitively say. But this covering up a potential GUI, well, no, covering up a DUI where apparently the ops lieutenant, Dustin Carr,
Yes.
basically ordered the deputies to turn off their body worn cameras.
Wow.
Okay, like okay,
Wow.
so now you guys are covering up DUIs. He could have killed somebody.
I mean, the list goes on and on as to what could possibly happen, right? I mean, just the simple fact that that came down as an order, that's something that in itself, right? Okay,
Allegedly, but
right. Allegedly, right.
I mean, and apparently they're cleaning up his car in the back of the station and just other things. Like I've heard so many other stories about his behavior, and it says if you look on that memo on the Ventura County the Ventura County Sheriff's Department memo,
Yeah.
right above the black box, all the way in the left-hand corner, there's a black box. Look on your phone. On the black box, you see the black box
Yeah. On
on
the bottom, there's a black box.
yeah.
It
Okay,
says
so
notes.
right above, yes, right above that on the left-hand side, it has a little asterisk and it
Yeah.
says
Pending.
pending LASD reports. There are no LASD reports. Or
What?
if there are, I mean, few and far between. I do have a screenshot of a incident. Uh, I don't know, whatever you guys call it, some blue thing incident. I
Hmm.
should be smarter than that, but I can't. I've been told 3 times what it is, and I'm like, I can't keep all this shit straight. You know what
No, right. I understand.
I mean? So
So
anyway,
they're per Ventura County Sheriff's Department, they're stating that as obviously in this photograph here, that the investigation is just pending Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department reports. Now, is this something that they're just slacking on? Or is there actual reports that we
Well,
know of?
who
Or
knows?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All I know is that he is dangerous, period. End of story. I also got a text this morning that apparently he is still going around to gun shops. So somebody texted me this morning saying that people who are now well aware of who he is and what he's doing, that he is going around to gun shops.
Yeah, that is definitely not good. The surprising thing to me is that this person is still walking around in that particular area doing God knows what,
He
and
should have
that's,
been locked up already.
yeah. So what are exactly
I
are
mean,
they waiting for?
people are actively calling the police on him regularly. He's walking into car dealerships and he's getting agitated and doing crazy, weird things. I mean, Ventura County is getting calls on him all the time. That's what I'm being told.
So what is their disposition, you think, Ventura County? What is Ventura County
They're
actively
protecting
do?
him because he's a cop and they're not helping us any and they're not helping themselves any, you
And
know?
this is something that plagues not only Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, but obviously it's plaguing multiple agencies within California. I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's all over the nation where they have this particular individual who does these egregious things, and then there's some sort of either lackadaisical attitude towards it or just straight up cover up. Now, let me ask you this: if this particular individual was not a cop, then what would happen? And that's the thing that's plaguing certain departments like this. And it really needs to stop, and it will stop once you start to get the word out there.
I
I
couldn't even tell you at all. Like, all I know is that if there was somebody driving drunk, if he wasn't a cop, chances are he'd be in freaking jail. And
absolutely
same thing with a woman. It's no different. Like, you're driving drunk, your ass is going to jail. And that's for sure. Not this one. They turn off your body cameras, take your
right.
car and clean it up. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's not okay.
See, and then that's kind of a shot also to other law enforcement officers because that puts them in a particular position where if this gets out to the public, you know, what if somebody else, another law enforcement officer, does something so minute and then they get completely and utterly blasted out there? Where then you have this particular individual who's doing serious, egregious things and there's nothing happening. And this is just a straight up call to nepotism, to be honest with you. I
It
mean, I don't know
is.
what else you could call it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no two ways about that. So this has been kind of filling my days.
Of course, as
At
well it
least since
should.
the beginning of the week. And it's really like sad. And I'm going to insert some photos. Like, I have a couple of photos with Jim, and you'll see, like, I knew him really well and he was a really good guy. And for me to even have to report on this the way I'm like, I'm dumbfounded. I am absolutely shocked that this is happening, and a lot of people go, oh, I'm not shocked. Well, I am. And
So people, when they say that, I'm not shocked. What is that supposed to mean, you think?
cops, abuse of power, that's what they think. And you know what? They're not wrong. There's plenty of cops out there that abuse their power. And
Oh,
I've
absolutely.
seen it firsthand. I've experienced it firsthand. This is not one of those cases. He is clearly not, he needs to be medicated, not on his meds. The guy is freaking nuts. And, you know, if he's looking at gun stores, that's not a, I
Yeah,
mean, I
that's
think
not a
his
good sign
weapons
for
have been
anything.
taken from him from what I hear. Don't hold me to
Quote me.
this 100%, but
Right.
you can quote me, but don't hold me to it
Right.
100%. But it's not good. I mean, it's just not good. It's a not good situation. But aside from that, moving on, what else do you
Yes.
want to talk about?
Well, I mean, there's obviously a lot to talk about. There's also the particular situation. I don't know how far you want to go into this, but the Baker Vegas situation with the women's team or the five teams that went to Baker to Vegas.
So my tweet apparently about Luna and the photograph not being in the
Yeah.
women's team photograph, like
Yeah.
that kind of blew up. And then few people, got their little panties in a bunch going, that's not true. That's not true. That's bullshit. That's a bullshit story. And it's like, okay, well, I got it on from I got it from a very good source. Okay. Like I trust this person implicitly.
Mhm.
Uh, and this person is a friend of mine and this person knows. Right. And so, okay. So if you're saying that, and I guess this was all the drama on the LASD sworn page. And okay, well, great. Like if that's the case and this is not like good intel, then prove it. As
Yeah.
the person
Mhm.
who posted said it on the sworn page. Prove it. If it does, if this is not true, prove it. Where's the photo with Luna? There was a photo with the men's team, but there was
Yes.
a photo with the women's team that
No, there was not.
never
And
materialized. I mean, Blondie, there was a picture of Blondie hugging on him.
yeah,
Um,
that's funny you mentioned that, CC, because I actually shared that
I
picture,
know, I
and
saw that.
and I I have my own silly little rant going on with that. My thing is look, you know, it's obviously Baker to Vegas prior to all of this, everyone has their own take as to what happens at Baker to Vegas. You got these particular people who go there for quote unquote camaraderie. I get it; it's an athletic event, but then you also have these people that just go to fuck around, right? Now, the issue here is that what's different with this year as opposed to others is that this particular year there is a pretty bad situation with a deputy that got not only slandered, but he was used as a sacrifice for Bunker Bob's political gain.
Mm-hmm.
Now we could go on and on about the whole Trevor Kirk situation, but everybody in the department was obviously upset as to what transpired with Trevor Kirk. So this whole boycott, when it comes to boycott of the Baker to Vegas team, is simply a silent protest, right?
Absolutely.
That is because what else can deputies do? It's obvious they cannot speak up. They have a muzzle on them. Their First Amendment right is obviously taken away. That's just how things are. So what else can deputies do? They could only do a silent protest, and it's heartwarming to see that there's active people there, stations and facilities that actively are in support of Trevor Kirk's situation. And then you have these other people who say they support, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm still gonna run because that's just what I do. And that's the kind of thing where they're stating that they're running for camaraderie, but yet they're completely and utterly not backing up their partner. So all of that is just left in void. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, obviously, the women's team ended up going, and there's pictures of that. And when I called it out to their attention, they got super pissed off. I have messages from particular people in the women's team that actively they love the fact that people like yourself and myself and others are calling to attention certain things that are transpiring in the county. But all of a sudden, when they do something, are we supposed to keep quiet? No, I don't think so. Honestly, you know what? I don't care what gender you are, whether you're male or female or in between. It doesn't matter to me what rank. It doesn't matter what's happening. Obviously, there's people that are in particular high ranks that hide certain things, but it doesn't matter. You do something stupid, you do something that obviously that's selfish and you're not going to back up your partner. There's people who are going to call you out, and you are
I
one of
think it
them.
was
I am one.
disgusting that
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
anybody who went to that, I can't believe, I mean, I'm glad there was only 5 teams that went, but still, what if it was you? I
That's
mean,
my point.
wouldn't you want that support? Like, I was just disgusted with the fact that anybody showed up,
And
especially for that POS Luna to be able to even take pictures with anybody. Ugh.
yeah, that is in an that's another situation we got to talk about because there wasn't a deputy who messaged me. I mean, he will remain anonymous here, but he clearly stated that there was a station. He works at a station, and Luna is going around trying to take photographs with different deputies at different stations. And you know what? I I I get that. I get that. As a civilian, right? I get how the sheriff supposed to be extremely not only vocal, but you got to go out there. You got to go talk to the
He's
community.
in
You got
full on campaign mode. That's what
exactly, and
he's
that's the
in.
that's the thing. So the issue with this particular person in his letter is he clearly states in this letter saying that he saw Luna coming up with this photographer. Multiple deputies do not want to take photographs with him, but he purposely hunts down the ones that don't. And before you know it, they're backed into a corner and they have to take a photograph with Luna. And that to me, that's utterly ridiculous. he just recently sent out an email. Um, when was this, CC? I think you have it as well. I'll send it to you if you don't, pertaining to the harassment of people going through Baker to Vegas.
Oh yeah, I wrote about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. And I think you did write an article on that. And it's such a hypocritical thing to say because aren't you forcing and bullying these people to take photographs with you? You know, it's such a it's mind blowing the how everything's transpiring with his photo ops, you know, and that's something that it's flabbergasting to me. And at the same time, you know, who's paying for it? You know, the deputies there are paying for it, and it's just becoming a giant circus at the moment. And to be honest with you, with all of this happening with the deputies, it's plain to see that, and I'll flat out and say it. There's a civil war going on. It's a silent civil war happening, and because of this civil war, everybody loses for the most part. You got these deputies who are speaking up and working hard and upholding what they're supposed to uphold. And then you have that other side where they want to side with Luna or protect Luna because of particular promotions or whatnot. And at the end of the day, it's the community that suffers from it.
Case in point, not to go back to Lost Hills, but
Exactly.
Captain C2, in my opinion, is a DEI promotion. Okay, even though she was promoted under Alex, this woman should never be in charge of a station ever. You want to promote her to captain? Fine, send her to food services or wherever the hell you want to send her.
Right.
But she does not belong as captain of a station, and she has no clue how to manage disaster and emergencies. And clearly, now we have a person who she is protecting, and you can't tell me she didn't know what was going on. That's bullshit. And he's a threat to public safety right now, a clear and present threat to public safety. So, and by the way, her and her husband donated quite a bit of money to Robert Luna's campaign.
Wow.
So here, all of this is coming out with this cover up at the Lost Hill station. I'm waiting to see, is she going to get demoted? Is she going to get reprimanded? What's going to happen? Because this is very, very serious. And we're talking about not just Malibu. This is the whole Lost Hills region plus Ventura County.
Jeez.
So this is serious shit.